What's your best almost got away with it story? I was a supply sergeant with access to everything. Food, equipment, fuel, you name it. Problem was, our base in Iraq was hemorrhaging money on contracts with local vendors who were obviously overcharging us. Bottled water cost 3 times what it should. MREs were marked up 400%. These contractors were getting rich off American taxpayers while we ate expired rations and rationed toilet paper. So I started my own little redistribution program. Nothing major at first. Extra cases of water that were damaged in shipping. Surplus MREs that were past inspection date. Always had the paperwork to cover it. Found a local family who'd lost everything in the bombing. Father was a former Iraqi army officer, spoke perfect English, had 3 kids under 10. They were living in a bombed out building, drinking contaminated water. Started bringing them supplies. Not selling, giving. These people needed help, and we had warehouses full of stuff that would expire before we could use it anyway. Word spread quietly through the local community. Families started approaching me during patrols. Always respectful, always grateful. Never asked for much. Just basics to survive. My operation grew. Had a whole network of trusted locals who'd distribute supplies to families who really needed them. Bypassed the corrupt contractors completely. Even had some of my soldiers helping. They saw how the system was broken, how legitimate families were suffering while vendors got fat contracts for substandard goods. For 8 months, everything ran smooth. Helped probably 200 families. Kids who were malnourished started gaining weight. Elderly people got medicine they couldn't afford. The beauty was in the paperwork. Every item I moved had proper documentation. Damaged goods, expired inventory, surplus allocation, all technically legal transfers. My mistake was getting too comfortable. Started moving bigger items. Generator that was malfunctioning. Medical supplies that were contaminated. Construction materials that were defective. Battalion commander noticed the unusually high rate of damaged equipment in my reports. Ordered an investigation. Auditors started crawling through every form I'd filed for months. They couldn't prove anything criminal at first. All my paperwork was perfect, but the pattern was suspicious. Too much damaged inventory, too many convenient coincidences. Then they followed one of my local contacts. Saw him distributing supplies to families. That's when they put it together. Called me in for questioning. Laid out photos of Iraqi families using American military supplies. Asked me to explain how damaged MREs ended up feeding children. I could have denied everything. Claimed the families must have found the supplies in dumpsters. But looking at those photos, seeing kids who were healthy because of what I'd done, I couldn't bring myself to lie. Told them the whole truth. How the contractor system was broken. How families were dying while vendors profited. How I tried to fix it the only way I knew how. Expected to get court-martialed. Instead, the colonel sat quiet for a long time. Finally asked, how much money do you think those contractors were stealing? Turns out my documentation had accidentally exposed a massive fraud operation. Vendors billing for goods never delivered. Marking up prices 500%, kickbacks to procurement officers. My little humanitarian operation had created a paper trail that revealed millions in stolen taxpayer money. The FBI got involved. Dozens of contractors arrested. Several officers charged. Got an Article 15 for unauthorized distribution of military property. Lost a stripe, forfeited 2 weeks' pay. Could have been much worse. But the real punishment was seeing those families afterward. Had to stop my supply runs completely. Watched kids go back to drinking dirty water while investigations dragged on for months. Some of my local contacts disappeared. Word was contractors had put prices on their heads for cooperating with my operation. That guilt still keeps me awake sometimes. The irony? 6 months later, Command implemented a new humanitarian aid program. Official channels for helping local families. Everything I'd been doing illegally became official policy. Got approached by the new aid coordinator. Asked if I wanted to help run the legitimate program. Told him I was too close to getting out.